I'm smiling with all my, 32, like we call it, chin to chin, because today we are going to be answering a lot of questions that came up last week. We were discussing how to ensure that we eat right for good health and at the same time ensure that we don't spend too much. But in the course of it, someone from Benue State, if I remember the name correctly, Tega, asked a question. She said, how can we, deploy modern day devices in the kitchen and at the same time, spend less time, spend less money, and still be healthy? It's a question we all decided to sit back and, take a look and find out if we can actually chew on that. A whole lot was revealed, and we decided to reconverge today and have a good chat around it. So you can always sit back, carry your pen and paper, listen. There are a whole lot of things we're doing in our kitchen areas that are wrong. There are some too we're doing that are right. We're here to find out what they are. My name is Elizabeth Abai, and I have in the house the lady who loves cooking, a foreigner woman.
My name is Joe Akpanachi. It's good to be here this morning.
All right, and?
My name is Deva Hamati, your mom, and it's good to be here.
Okay.
Good morning, ladies. Kevin Fineface. It's my pleasure being in the midst of beautiful ladies.
Kevin, we're just discussing that you like cooking, and I'm wondering why.
Well, I grew up in a home where my dad, ensures that everybody must learn how to do something in the kitchen and also do something outside of the kitchen. And so, as a young boy, we have turns. We take turns to cook, both men and women. Yeah, you must cook the food for everybody that everybody eats. So. We take turns to it, and that's became part of me growing up.
Do you practice that in your home now?
Yes, I do.
Your children
my
cook?
kids, they all cook.
The boy too?
They started cooking from, the boy started cooking from 10, the girl started from 9. She's older, but she started from 9, but the boy started from 10 because, it takes them time to get into. So I started cooking domi. Now it has actually improved to cook beans, soup now, stew. He's just 16. The girl is a fantastic cook now because she learns so fast. I think it's the thing about women, getting to pick these skills faster than the boys. It's an innate behavior.
For you, I don't know, maybe because you started early, because I've seen you one of your videos where you were dancing and cooking at the same time.
Just having fun,
So it came out quite nice.
Yeah,
but
it was.
There's something I always want us to ensure that we also teach our children, and that's washing our hands before doing any other thing in the kitchen.
It's a rule of thumb. You must wash your hands. In fact, as soon as you come in, that's the first thing you do. Before you get into doing anything, before you even cut leaves, you must wash your hands first. No matter what you want to do around the kitchen. Oh, my hands are clean. No, wash your hands first. This is a principle. You have to do that because we pick a lot of dirt. Before you know, you have actually done something. So, we just do that.
And in washing their hands,
when people eat,
in washing their hands, when we grew up, I saw my parents washing their hands inside a bowl of water.
Yes.
Somehow I grew up and found out that it has to be done under the running water.
Best with running water.
Yes.
Best with running water.
Okay.
And that's something COVID really taught us.
Yeah.
COVID reintroduced the hand washing culture because those of us of a certain generation, through primary school, hand washing was emphasized, hygiene and all of this. Yeah. Then with time, that culture just gradually dissipated, but then COVID-19 brought it back. So like for me, for instance, it's a norm that as I'm entering the house, I just go straight to the kitchen and wash my hands, whether I'm cooking or not. I just go wash my hands, or if I'm going straight to the room, as I enter the room, I go to the bathroom and wash my hands first.
In fact, I wash my hands so much that sometimes I think I'm beginning to lose my fingerprints.
No, like she said, COVID, COVID taught us a lot. Like my mom, she always says that, I don't care where you came from. The first thing you should do, that's the bathroom. Immediately you come and go wash your hands. Because Nigerians don't have that washing of hand thing.
Culture.
That culture, it doesn't work for us. Like I use my hands to eat. I don't use cutlery. And sometimes when I see some people, they say, but you use locust beans to eat, so your hands will always smell. And I told them, I said, no, anytime you want, like you said about running water, with locust beans, you can't use running water because you have to put lemon.
No, when you finish with running water, you will now rub the lemon on your hands. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Leave it for a few seconds before I rinse out.
I just learned something today and I'll try it because that has been an issue for me. I'll wash and wash and
no, if you use
5 minutes later you do this.
If you put the lemon, there are two things I always have in my. I use lemon. Then I have a flimsy what do you call it? Wipes. It's lemon.
The director is just helping us.
It's lemon as well. Okay. All right. So
I can actually still put
this is actually the best way to wash it, because if you look at it, even in restaurants, I don't always put my hand in the bowl to wash my hands.
Especially in restaurants.
Because the amount of bacteria, especially they don't even use those steamers.
Yes, I agree with you.
To do those things. So you have to use the running water to wash your hands. Even at home, it's best to actually use, except it's best to actually wash your hands. Or if you don't have running water, you can actually be pouring a little, but ask someone if
I bring
the bowl, you are pouring for
if I bring the bowl for washing off, I bring 2 bowls. Then the other one, after you put the soap, I now pour so that you have that same running water effect into the bowl.
Okay,
that's what I do.
So for people who think locust beans smells or something, you can still use the lemon, and you have there's something called a zingy.
Yeah, I know zingy.
Yeah, zingy. It's I always have zingy because it's lemon. It's lemon
it has a zest
test. Yeah. So the minute you use that, no matter what, the smell then
goes away.
Yeah. Then some people say that when you eat a furry or something, locust beans, when you talk, your breath. So I always tell people, just use some mint or something.
No, just
I highly recommend.
Let me give you guys one simple thing
if
to
you
use.
Have cloves, chew.
Get cinnamon. If you have the seed or the powder, put it in your mouth, and that takes care of your breath.
It does that. Or if you have it already soaked, you can soak your cinnamon and a clove, like you said, and rinse your mouth with it.
The clove will still give you.
And then another one is
but the cinnamon.
If you're outside,
beautiful
the
breath.
best breath freshener is our garden eggs. You know.
Okay, garden eggs.
True garden egg. It has a way of taking care of the whole
It will probably neutralize.
Everything goes
away. The thing with garden egg for me, I always say that everybody's different. With me, with garden egg, I have to look for a bathroom.
To pick your teeth?
No.
Oh, you need to.
Oh wow! Okay, it's a big fiber.
So that's
it's
a
big fiber.
For me.
All right.
It's
different strokes
for me. Different strokes for different.
Okay, so we have learned that before we do anything in the kitchen, we need to wash our hands. But let's go to the street and find out from Nigerians, particularly in Abuja here. We have several devices in the kitchen. One of them is the poundo, and talking about pounded yam, you also have the natural way of doing it with your
the best.
So which is your best?
That's the best.
Let's find out. Hey, how many people did you talk to, and what did they say?
It's the best way.
I prefer the traditional method now, while the food processing might save time. But it's also the traditional way it tastes more original.
I prefer it to be done in a traditional way because that's how I'm being brought up and that's the taste of it.
For me, it's how it comes out at the end. As long as it is soft and edible, I'm okay.
I like it pounded in a traditional way because scientists have proved that most of the modern pounding system have some implications of health implications. Most of the yam pounding with machine, now find out that it will take in some pieces of rubber, which are resulting to many cancer diseases and infections. Therefore, we should do everything possible to maintain our traditional ways of pounding yam to avoid complicating our chops.
I prefer it, the traditional way. It tastes better.
I can use any one, provided it's pounded yam is pounded yam. I can eat it anyhow it made.
I prefer it traditional way. Because I like that one.
I prefer pounding my yam by myself. I prefer it the traditional way rather than all this stuff they are selling that is giving us a, you know, issues, health challenge here and there.
All right, we just heard, and while that was going on, actually when that thing was recorded, we had a debate, and somebody said right there in the streets, a lot of men prefer the natural one because they're not the ones doing the pounding.
Exactly, exactly. Exactly.
So, and the women will tell you, okay, the modern one because it's trying to save them time and all of that. What's your thoughts?
Not for me. I am the typical Igala woman who loves to pound my yam. And people say, why? I have tried the pando and the other one. Even now, I heard that they use, what do you call it? What do you call it? That mixer.
The grater.
Yam pounder. There are yam pounders.
Yes, there's a mixer. There's a new mixer that has come out. But like I say that, if my pepper, I prefer pounding than using a blender.
Wait, you prefer pounding your pepper?
Yes, I prefer pounding my pepper.
You do yourself?
You know, I do everything I do myself. You see, the thing here is that I'm a firstborn. And the typical Nigerian home, when you're a firstborn and you're a girl child, you're going to be taught so many things.
You are the essay domestic duties.
No, well, if you say that, because you see, the thing here is that then I thought it wasn't good.
Yeah,
but eventually, with life and time, and because if you have all these people who do these things for you, they think they're the best thing that has happened. But when they know that you can do it for yourself, nobody is going to mess up with you. So I actually like to do my things myself. Pounding yam is the best, but the only thing is that if you have a very large number of people in your house, the thing about my own house is that some people will say, no, I don't want, not the younger ones don't really like pounded yam. They prefer pando yam.
What's the difference? I'm kind of lost. What's the difference?
I don't know why.
To be frank, I prefer yam, that proper yam that I can see like this, that's been boiled on the fire and then processed into the pounded form over the flour version.
Okay, the flour version is the pound.
Yeah, that you turn like
the one you turn.
The one you turn like
yeah, but there's another way you can actually do pounded yam. You grate the pounded yam, more like put in the blender, blend it as fresh as it is, then put it in the fire.
You grate the pounded yam?
Yeah, you boil it. You actually blend the pounded yam.
I just want you to correct yourself.
No, the raw yam, sorry. Blend the raw yam fresh, then boil it.
Pour it in a pan.
In a pan, and then boil it. And it comes out thick like pounded yam. Yes.
Kevin,
you see, my thing
I've
here
seen things
you
like
see
that
the way
online.
I think the way people you see
I've
like
done it.
when we were on air and they were doing that thing, and I think I just mentioned to you that because you are from this Azaz, most people from this Benue, Kogi, and all that, Kwara, they prefer the pounded yam. Maybe people from the south or the southwest, I think maybe you people don't mind.
Let me tell you why. You know, the mortar and pestle pounding was a limited technology as at the time it was introduced. Really? And it was used to ease off how to get this pounded yam being made at home. We've gone past that stage. We can't, because of how we were brought up, and say that's how I was brought up and you don't want to make an innovation. No. Time and chance has actually changed. So we can actually introduce, when Pando, what they call it, the machine was first introduced by the guy from South, nobody actually bought the idea. He sold it to a Japanese company that bought up the patent from him, and they are making so much money from it. But that has actually changed over time. When I saw this blending thing, and I tried it, it worked perfectly well. I do what they call onunu. Onunu, from where I come from, onunu is pounded from the mortar and the pestle. That's plantain and yam mixed together, pounded together with oil that gives you that yellowish, fufu, right? But I tried it with the same technology and it worked.
Kevin, without meaning to cut you short, I'm still going to throw this, to you. Somebody within the Vox Pop group mentioned that it's unhealthy. What's your take on that?
Yeah, you see, what he said, and I asked a simple question, how did he get the scientific proof that it was unhealthy? He said rubber and went at it. If you're pounding with normal mortar and pestle, what happens? You have wood pieces that also comes with your food. I've seen that in the pounded yam, I've seen that in other this thing. It's even more unhealthy with your poundo, your mortar and pestle, because no matter how you wash that stuff, you keep it somewhere, it generates molds. It generates molds. You have the bacteria that comes in that are not very healthy for you.
So you're not going to wash it before you do it?
You wash it, but you still have particles of that. You don't use hot water to wash it most times, right? You just use soap and water to wash that. It's healthier to even use the machine than the mortar and pestle.
Let me tell you
All you need
why.
to do is to sterilize the machines.
Let me tell you, you see this thing about machine. Yesterday, I think when you sent the topic, I was just going through something. The simplest thing I saw there was foil paper.
Was what?
Foil paper.
Foil paper, okay.
Aluminium.
So what did they say about our fish and other things we do?
Yeah.
It gives, by the time you use it, cancer. You have, what do you call this one that you're shaking? Your memory loss as
Dementia.
well. Breast cancer and all that. Those were the things that this thing causes. Why did I stop using my microwave? Everything machine. No, I think it is safer. Let's try.
Okay,
safer.
let me not cut you out on that one. I try to actually check for the health benefits of the pounded yam machine or device, whether it has side effects, and all the sites I checked, and there was none.
No, it doesn't have any side effects.
I think for my part, I think things like tin foil, for instance, I think you'd need to use a massive amount. That's like literally 70 to 80% of your cooking. You're using tin foil for you to get to the point where you begin to develop things like cancer. And then, of course, let's not forget other lifestyle issues as well.
That comes alongside with it.
And if we come with that argument, what about our aluminium pots? Almost all the pots we use nowadays are made of aluminium.
Even those that they call non-sticky pots.
We're going to get to
the
that.
tin foil is also aluminium.
If you're trying to avoid the what do you call it, the foil paper, like she mentioned, we have the natural thing God has given us here in Africa.
The leaves.
The leaves. You know. Yeah. Buy the leaves. They actually come out tastier when you use it for moi moi.
Because it has
people have
flavor.
stopped using the tin for.
You know, the aluminium thing, right? It's something that people are gradually begin to know. It was introduced to be able to help with preservation and all of that. But research, too much of aluminium is not good for us. So we can actually reduce it. Moderation. What these biscuits and everything we eat, they cause of those, they have those carcinogenic effects inside. You drink fizzy drinks. If you take wine or those things have those properties also. But it's moderation in everything that we need to do. Okay. That helps.
Okay, let's get to what Joy mentioned a little while ago. That's the microwave. And I know that he is still with her, people out there trying to find out from them what they think about microwave. It will amaze you. When it came to microwave, all of them said, yeah. But let's see. Can we have that beat on the microwave?
Evolving. So we are moving away from the traditional way of doing things to a more advanced and modern way. Because I believe for some of us now who stays in a residential and maybe a reserved area. Microwave saves time. I use it in my house. It saves a lot of time. I think in less than 2 minutes. Yeah, so it saves time. So I prefer that.
Some features I like in microwave. It's not like something that doesn't have an adequacy, something you use without knowing when it's done, because it has timing and it has normal durability. So I prefer using microwave.
Based on the health challenges though, a lot of people will be running away from microwave. But honestly speaking, when you come back and you're tired from work or something, that's the fastest way. Let's just be honest ourselves.
I prepare using microwave if at all I have it.
Microwaving your food with rubber inside the microwave will definitely extract some rubber intakes, which is very dangerous to health.
I don't like using microwave. Some people might call me village, this one, a village woman. I don't really care, but I prefer doing things, something that suits me. It's about me, it's about my choice. What I eat is about me, it's about my choice. So I don't really...
Yes, it's about you, it's about your choice, and no matter what people say, you stick to it, especially when it comes to microwave. We actually try to do a lot of research, and a whole lot was exposed. But let me just find out from my colleagues. You think we should use more of it?
The microwave?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit comme-ci-comme-ça on that. Like everybody else, I've heard all these things about it not being the best health-wise and so on and so forth. So at that time, I'd already acquired one. So what I do is I use it minimally, if truly there are health issues. And then I try to avoid plastic where I can help it. I put it in a ceramic dish instead and use that. So I use it, but sparingly. Okay. I use it when I have to. I don't use it as a matter of course, like every other thing. Whenever I can warm on the gas on open flame, that's what I do. But if I'm in a rush, like maybe I just got something out of the deep freezer, I need to defrost it sharp, and
it helps, yes.
So it now comes in handy. Okay. But I use it sparingly.
So, Joy, what do you think? I'm sure she's a microwave person.
No, everybody knows my take on microwave.
Okay.
One again with band A. Microwave is a no-no. One, with band-aid, microwave is a no-no. But you see, for me, microwave, when I see my friends cook with microwave, it gives me this cringe. Cook? It's bad enough. I was taught to make sure that if this is what you're going to eat, my father loved fresh. But you see, times have changed. It's just like tomatoes. You can't be doing things fresh, so you have to now put it in the freezer and all that. Take out your meals a night before if you want to use it in the morning. During the day, this is the time you know you're going to eat. So take it out so that everything will defrost by itself, the natural means. I like the one that I'll put it on the fire, on the burner, and you can put water and it's not sticky and it will still feel fresh. With microwave, the minute you microwave most of your soup, it's already salty. Wow. That's the truth, it's salty and it's dried. So I am not, with all the health issues again, with microwave, it's a no-no for me.
I sincerely believe a microwave may not be. You're going to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to, what you said is a no-no and the soup dries up. It depends on how you use your microwave. Now, I had two microwaves before. I read a report from one research, it's not too good for the health because of the rubber we use in warming the food, all of those things. So I gave out.
What of the rays from the?
So, well, I gave both out.
All
but
right.
I said later studied about microwave, and I realized is if you have a microwave that has a convection is designed to take out water. So sometimes we put on our microwave when the convection is actually on. So it takes out the water from your food and makes your food more salty. So one of the best things you want to do, you said something, bring out your food, keep it out there, let it thaw, then you bring it, you warm it. Same thing can be applied to the microwave. Use the right dish or bowl, instead of using plastic, put it at the time you're supposed to put it. If you want to, do a convection, then you can actually do a convection with it. You can actually cook with it. There are different settings. In today's microwave, it's actually using more like having an induction plate at home that you use for your gas burner and all of those things, right? For your burners. So you can actually cook with a microwave depending on how you do the setting. I understand how to use the microwave. There are different settings in the microwave. Do you use what they call it, air fryer?
Yes.
Do you use air fryer?
No, we're going to get to that point.
We're
going to get to that point. But
my mom likes air fryer. I'm not an air fryer.
Okay, so that's the thing. So if you use air fryer, everything is about moderation.
Let me also chip into what you said. I know that there are settings to it and they can actually come in handy. My take is, she just mentioned about Ban A. We're talking about how to ensure that we use things, you know, at a cheaper cost. You buy a gas cylinder, 12 kg, and is at about between
1,213 per kg.
Okay, 1 to 1. That's about 18,000 naira.
Depending
you
on
know, for 12 kg.
12.5.
Now, if you are cooking and not using the microwave, that can carry you for as much as 1 month, 2 months in a family of
It depends
5.
on the quantity of cooking you're doing.
Okay, now you buy lights for the same amount. You're not going to use it up to 1 week. Trust me, if you're on Ban A. So the less you use the microwave, the better. And then in using the microwave, a lot of times we just throw in things. I believe that it's dangerous. You know why? I put in some plates inside. You know, it starts screaming.
Because you have this animal around the plates.
Exactly.
That was reacting to
my stove will not do that. I put in foil pepper food.
That's what knowledge
you're not supposed to put foil in the microwave.
That's what I said.
People don't know.
But why don't we know? We don't bother reading manuals.
You don't read manuals.
You see, the thing here is that like we always say knowledge is power.
If you put tin, let me land on this. If you put tin foil in your microwave, you are at risk of having an explosion.
Yes, I was going to say that.
So please don't do that.
That's why knowledge is key, right? Knowledge is key, but you must understand it.
You don't put metal, you don't put tin foil in the microwave. Please know this and
if
know
you have these China wares that have some of these shiny stuff around it that sometimes look like maybe a gold plate around it, all of this, don't put it in, because some of those things are metals designed either copper or one of those metals they use in designing.
Why don't you just stay away from it?
Exactly my point.
Why all these stories? Why all this drama?
Another thing is not every food, for me, you should microwave. When you're going to microwave something like a boiled egg,
why?
It's always
it will explode.
Why would you microwave a boiled egg?
You don't microwave
because you can eat boiled egg cold. Why
I don't want to eat my boiled egg
Put it in water.
Then warm it.
Put it in the water.
Warm it the regular way.
So if I'm going to microwave my rice and warm my egg, why don't I do it all at once?
You see, like somebody like
that's why you need to know what to do.
You know, like a friend of mine, I noticed she was boiling cow leg, and she was doing shaki and all that, and I was looking at her. I said, this gas, why are you? Because she couldn't get a pressure cooker. So and I said, look, you know what you do? Throw a spoon
into the pot. So it's faster?
Yes.
When I was small, it was nails.
Because it's still
the same chemicals that drops in the
You know, so this is what I'm saying. You see,
throw a spoon. Now you're avoiding foil, but you're throwing a spoon.
No. That's you see, no. You see, the thing is that how many times do you throw a spoon? Is it every time you are doing cow? No, is it every time you are doing cow leg and shaki? No. So that you reduce the cost for your gas.
Okay. So we're talking about reducing costs. I know some people who put paracetamol inside the same thing. That is a no-no. That is a no-no. So you're trying to reduce costs. Please don't do that. But you mentioned something, pressure pots.
Yes.
And I tried to box somebody, Devon, and she did a demonstration of how to use the pressure pot. Let's see it.
Known as a pressure pot. It's made of cast iron, so it's quite heavy. You'll notice that the cover of the pot has a different kind of handle. Usually regular pots have a handle at the top here. This one, the handle is at the edge. So what you do is add your meat or whatever you're cooking to the pot. Add sufficient water, depending on the quantity also of what you are cooking. Then you cover. You will notice also that the pot has these special design around the edges, both of the pot and of the cover. The idea is to help the cover to lap properly. When you hear that click, that means it has lapped and it won't open the way you can just lift the lid of any regular pot. you now have to add this. I don't even know what it's called, but I know the function. What this does is that it begins to whistle when the pot is boiling, when the contents of the pot are boiling. And as it whistles, you see a little bit of steam coming out, but it also helps to keep the steam trapped inside. From my use of it, what I've come to understand is that it traps heat inside the pot in such a way that the pressure is so hot that it cooks the food much faster. So I ordinarily would not prepare goat meat using this pot because goat meat is not as hard as beef, for instance. So usually what I use my pressure pot for, I use it when I want to prepare beef and make sure that it cooks in good time and it cooks tender. I also use it mostly to prepare beans. You know, beans can take forever, especially if you buy iron beans. So your pressure pot helps you to maximize time, and it also reduces the quantity of gas or kerosene or whatever other heating method you are using to cook your food. It helps you to reduce the quantity of it that you'll be using because you are using it for a shorter period of time. When this is really, really hot, you cannot open it until it cools, and that's to prevent burns. So if you want to open the pot at all costs as soon as you take it off the fire, that you don't want to let it cool before opening, you have to remove this, and then it releases the steam at a very high pressure. It releases the steam. That takes about 2 minutes or thereabout.
Okay, thank you very much. I think since you're sitting here, let me just thank you directly. Thank you. It's my pleasure for doing the honors. So I don't even need to say much about the pressure pot cooker, except that you use it.
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
Why?
I've not used
I think
it
this
before.
is too much work. Yeah, and you know the thing here is that it's easier sometimes for people who are educated to understand this thing. You know, all these people who work for you, they like all these quick fixes. Anything can happen, you know, so I'd rather just stay in my old...
I'm sorry, I have to come in here. There's nothing you're doing with a pressure pot that you're not doing with a regular pot.
I actually think it's
so when
easier.
you said it's too much work, I got confused.
No,
because
there's a difference.
There is a slight difference.
Because it's already pressured. I was trying to liken it to your car radiator cover. Once
when
your
you
car is
open
hot,
it.
you can't open the radiator cover.
No, you can't.
Because the pressure is high, so it's...
But illiterates drive cars, and they know
now,
that.
the point
so
I was
why
trying,
can't you do that?
the point I was trying to make before Fine Face cut me off was that it's even safer to use a pressure pot than a regular pot. Because when that pot is that hot, no matter what you do, you can't open it.
Wow.
It has to cool. That's when you can open it.
And if you move.
It won't budge. It won't budge.
Oh,
it's the same thing like your washing machine. Now, if you want to open the pot immediately, that means you have to remove that stopper and allow the steam out.
To go out a little bit.
So that within then you can now open it within 5 minutes. And when it comes to things like your cow leg,
all those shaki we're talking about, shaki master or mistress, you know.
Those things you want to cook tender, it takes less time.
Yeah,
way less time.
For people that have husbands who like to eat everyday food, where they will tell you they don't want you to either boil or you know and all that. I think they are the ones that tend to use the microwave.
All right, so whoever decides,
I think we should get one. We should get one for ourselves.
For my part, yes. I guess my husband played a role in it. He likes pottage beans and he likes it very, very soft. I'm unable to achieve that with regular cooking. Even when I add potash, it's not as mushy as he likes it, except I leave it on fire as long as...
It's very safe.
But that's what everybody does.
That's what we do.
There's nothing wrong with it.
What's
wrong with it?
Potash actually increases your chances of having cancer, especially uric acid. And
potash?
Yes. You can Google it.
It's not very,
I will.
It's not very healthy, so I think we should reduce.
That's why it's no longer in.
But then pressure pot is where to go to if you ask me.
No, I'll get one for myself now. For what you just said now,
it saves you the gas, the cost of your gas. it saves you time, and then it gives you the texture of what you want.
Charcoal pot that is good too.
It's also very. We're going to get to that.
Thing, yeah.
It's also very good. Yeah, now you talk about charcoal pot. If a charcoal pot is there, maybe you can just let us see what it looks like. But I know that for me, it's a no-no because of a little bit of heat that comes with it.
Charcoal.
You know, the charcoal pot. But I hear,
but you don't use it inside the
No, but there are modernized charcoal pots.
Yeah.
This is a modern one.
Yeah, this is a modern one.
No, there's one that you only use. There's one that you only use one stick.
Yeah.
Just one stick of wood.
Yeah, modern.
And,
it's more expensive than the.
Or you buy
briquettes.
Yeah. Doesn't smoke.
Yeah.
So there are some you actually put the charcoal inside, and you get to use them.
There's something
those
I
are the
saw.
briquettes.
There's an organization. I don't know if I should mention the name. One of these organizations, introduced one hot plates.
Yes.
Wrapper. It's something that you use just to stick. It actually generates it up to 1,000 degrees, so you can take off your stick and the pot will still cook like 2 pots for you.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So those are the things we can actually get to use in our homes, and then you save time, you save light, you also save gas, however you put it. But moving from there, I tried to do stuff with Devon this period. I really gave her a headache. Devon did another one for me on the grilling pan. We talked about how to, I particularly like the grilling pan because it doesn't give as much smoke as the other method of grilling. But let's see if it's ready. The grilling pan, here, let's have that. See how it works and what it's used for.
So I got this grilling pan at a fair some years back. This grilling pan is about 6 years old now. It has served me well. You can see it's a bit old. Now it comes in 3 layers. This bottom portion of it, you can see it's a bit hollowed out so that it can contain water, and that's exactly what happens. You add water to this portion and then you put it on fire. In my own case, I'm using gas. You place it in such a way that the fire emanates only from this part of the grilling pan. Then you put this one on top. The principle is the steam emanating from the water that's boiling under passes through these vents and then cooks the meat that is placed on top. And then when you've placed your meat, you cover it and leave it. You leave it for like maybe 20 minutes. You check how cooked it is. You have to turn it, of course. So we'll now do a practical demonstration of how this works. As you can see, so usually this is the proper thing to do. The lowest part of the grilling pan, I place it in such a way that the fire is emanating only from the middle where you have that hole. And then there's this cap that's placed over that portion, but not directly here. I place this and then I place the cap there and then I put the meat. So what I'll do now is to get water and add to this part of the grilling pan. So you just add enough water. That's more than enough. Place the second layer of the grilling pan. Get your meat. Like I mentioned earlier, you have to season and oil the meat. I'm doing this plain because it's just for demonstration purposes. And then you lay it around the pan in such a way that the heat is evenly distributed so that it doesn't burn. Now, also what you want to do is you try really hard not to let it touch the middle of the pan itself. So it doesn't have to touch this, otherwise the edges that touch this portion will burn because the heat is much higher there. Then you cover and let it cook. Despite the fact that you're using water to achieve cooking this meat, it comes out dry, not cooked. So it still gives you that grilled meat effect. Usually I use this to grill my fish, and 30 minutes max.
So this is cool. So even if I don't have an oven in my home, I can still have my grill meat. Even if I don't have the barbecue thing, I can still have my grilled meat. And the sweetest part of it is that it does not take time. 20 minutes, max 30 minutes.
If it's
done.
not, if you are not buying the meal.
Buying which one?
The meal.
Which one is male?
You know when you were saying
male goat.
Yeah, when you were saying goats.
Oh, male goats cook longer.
Yeah. They spend more time.
That's why you have to make sure that it's not the male. The male goat.
Is it that is a DNA thing for male to be stubborn?
One wouldn't know. But one thing I want to clarify.
I don't understand. Is stubborn in what sense?
One thing I want to clarify is with the grilling pan, what I'm saving more of, and I guess it's healthier also, is oil.
Yes,
I'm not frying.
That's what I noticed.
So I didn't marinate that meat, but ordinarily I would.
You're supposed to
you marinate with a little bit of oil, and then you oil the pan itself, just a little, so that it doesn't stick. That's all. So it gives you save oil now on frying, and it's very tasty too.
And it's not even frying. It's not fried. It's grilled.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's also healthy.
And
it's healthier. You save oil.
Yeah.
And
I think I will try that.
I'll try it and
because I like dried meat.
All of us are learning from this, and then you cannot be complaining that you can't do grilled meat anymore because the cost of electricity is high. You can't power your oven. It's the short cost to it. Yeah, it's a good one. Now let's still talk a little bit more. There are other things I notice people do. You know, you mentioned one, the air fryer. What's the benefit of the air fryer?
You know, the benefit of the air fryer is that it actually, whatever you put into the air fryer, the oil from that protein is what is used to fry this thing. It's also extracted. So you have less of this, what do you call it, granite oil, whatever you want to use to fry, normal frying.
Well, I don't like the taste.
And the thing, what do you mean you don't like the taste? The thing is that if you're psychologically connected to oil in deep fries, then you will not like it.
Psychologically.
Yeah, psychologically, you will not like it.
I'm guilty.
Because
I'm psychologically connected.
Once you see how it's made, you're like, this is not going to come out good.
True.
Yeah.
But if you don't see how it's made, this tastes nice, this is good. I actually bought one to try because I kept saying that I bought one to try it and it turned out so well. I actually did grilled fish. Marinated the fish, put it out there. It was one of the best fish I've actually eaten.
If you give me things that you do air fry with, and I don't like them.
I
What I do, I go back and do some pepper, the pepper sauce.
Yeah.
You know, tatashi and
all those
that.
things.
And I pour it on it to give me a little bit of sauce.
That's why I said if you actually marinate it properly and do your proper garnishing, you know, you don't just.
It comes dry.
You cannot fry fish in the deep fry and put the peppers and it comes out well. You still have to rub it off again, right?
Okay.
But this one, you put everything, like from time to time, you still rub
but
off
the
with
air fryer, is it faster beyond just the healthy part
no,
of it?
You spend the same time you will spend in doing, like if you want to spend 30 minutes, 35 minutes, depending on the type of protein you had there, 35 minutes, 45 minutes. And if you want it well cooked, you don't go by what they say, you go by what you desire. If you want it well cooked, because I don't do the 35 minutes thing. I extend it. I'll just monitor to be sure it's not over dried. You know,
okay,
if it's fish.
One thing again I noticed, you talked about the non-stick pan. And I know that if we have a little bit, the non-stick pan, it's actually very good for cooking. But I know that a lot of times we get things wrong. The non-stick pan, if you notice when you're buying it, they also come with some spoons.
Plastic wooden.
So
but we use metal spoons.
We use metal spoons.
And destroy the...
A metal sponge.
Yes. So we do the non-stick thing with the pan, and then we now use the metal...
But they're pricey.
You know, thing. They could be pricey, but they are quite cheap ones.
Yeah, they're very pricey.
I met somebody who went to buy a non-stick pan, and he said she got a cheap one that was slightly used.
Okay.
And I said, this is wrong. Because I looked at it, it all had cracks inside.
Oh, it had scratches, okay.
The minute you use that, you're already exposing yourself to some...
To your food is going to get burnt unnecessarily. You constantly be sipping the chemicals
from the
from that. You know.
So
I think also, right, some of these things we desire to want to own, Standard Organization of Nigeria comes into handy because everything just comes to this country. You go to the market, I bought one the other day, the handle just got broken like easily.
Just like that.
You know, and you can't even hold the handle.
It's very hot.
They expect to have kitchen gloves to use
Yes.
to do that. I mean, we didn't grow up with kitchen
No,
gloves.
we
It's maybe you find a towel and wrap around it.
No,
you
but
know.
that's what I do. I use the
That's what everybody does. You have your kitchen towel that
I don't
you
use
use
gloves.
to lift things off the fire.
Yeah.
I bought gloves. My kids burned the gloves and they didn't even last because before they're beside the burner, it's gone.
Yeah.
So when we're done cooking, the next thing we do is to clean up.
Yeah.
Let's take a bit of what we got from the street and find out, in cleaning out our kitchen, which is our preference, the local broom or the brush?
The broom.
I will always stand on local broom. I would not use brush to clean my house just because it reaches the crevices and it reaches every corner and cranny and nook and everything.
I prefer the vacuum cleaner. Ease of job, you know.
Local broom, it depends, sha. If it is normal ground, but if it's on tiles, I will use the vacuum.
And I prefer using the broom and what have you. But sometimes, you know, just like you said, when one is in a hurry, you have an appointment somewhere, you have to, you know, go to work, I can use the other option, the faster option.
Now, when Liz spoke about brush, I don't know what was going through people's minds, but this, you know, this broom that has this brush effect at the bottom or at, this is the one that Liz was referring to. And of course, when you talk about the local broom, I'm sure we all know it. Incidentally, I came to realize that it's not strictly a Nigerian thing. Or
it's not.
Yeah, there are non-Nigerian cultures, non-African cultures that use this as well.
Yeah.
You know, of a variation of this. And
Do you know how much this is on Amazon?
well, let's not.
About $35.
Okay, great. So let's not explore that. But
no, but that's a good one.
They call it African.
Yeah, if you want to sell, if you want to
name.
do a business, now you can do a business with a broom.
And this is well made, though.
Yes.
I like
So,
the way they knit it.
I think, yeah, the plastic will hold it in place very well. So I think we ended on the note of saying what's the preference, and one lady was being very adamant that for her it has to be this.
Like me.
Because she grew up with that.
Like me.
Well, for me, I use both. Sometimes I go with this, depending on the surface I'm trying to clean.
Yeah,
there are some surfaces that this is best for,
you have to go
and
under.
then there are other surfaces that this other one is better
No, but
for.
even this broom, there's some you have to cut the
tips.
The tips, because
of course when you
for
buy it
yeah,
at first,
so
it's
when
very
you
But you know,
you cut
even
them.
with the ones that you have to go under, technology has made it easier for you to have flat base, surface cleaner. Now, if you live in an environment where you don't have this, what they call it, ceramic tiles or all those things, and you live where, you pick a lot of dust, of course, you need the African broom to go and sweep up everything. I know sometimes they use this also for some things, traditionally though.
Yeah.
If you place a piece of this thing, some things can cross over.
Oh, really? I didn't know
I
about that.
When we were small, right?
Yeah,
when we were
it's
younger,
a magoon thing.
we use it to pin when two cocks are actually fighting. When you pin, you fight to death. I mean, I don't know if it works, but we used to do that. We just pin on both ends, but I don't know if that works.
No, but the only thing I know is the magoon thing with the broom.
They say witches can't even cross this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some things that you can cross.
I didn't know that.
It's traditional.
I didn't know
I
that.
don't know about that.
But for
I know-
me,
I know that
I'm very traditional.
I can understand,
I'm very
first essay special duty. So
I'm a traditional person. I prefer my local broom.
till tomorrow.
Yeah.
In my bedroom, I have my local broom right in my bathroom. Because the brush can never get to where I want it to
Oh
get.
yes, I agree.
but there
The
are
broom
things
is
you can
always
use.
better. But people are writing in. Let's see. Someone said, "Good morning. This conversation is so much interesting. Bachelors like us are also gathering more knowledge on how to cook and manage amidst the scarcity of time. Please, I would like to talk to Devon Mom on a personal note." Oh, okay. This one, okay. You want to know something about the World Sickle Cell Day, and she will probably reach you after the program. Another person has more to say. Let's go to the WhatsApp group first of all and take more because our time is not much with us. So my name is Oke Ogeni Ideba. Please, you guys are the best. Your program is very important. Please, I would like you guys to talk more about single mothers some other time. It's becoming too much and there are too many young girls of the age of 23 to 35. Thank you. This is a concern. Wow. Thank you so much. It's a concern. But then, what do you think?
I think it would make a brilliant topic.
Okay.
What about single fathers?
Single fathers. Don't worry. I know where she's coming from when she said that. So I think we should honor her that. But before we go, I'd like us to really, speak finally on this topic we've been talking about.
Okay. I want to say there's a pidgin English adage that says, "Crayfish where they bend." Crayfish bend no means you need the sweets. You understand? So it's bent by condition, but it still has taste. No matter what it is, find ways to minimize your costs and live healthy, because a healthy life is the only life that you have to give to yourself. So I mean, do your best.
Okay.
What do I say? If you love your old way of doing things, traditional things, just do it. But the most important thing, stay healthy.
Because you like your traditional way of doing things. Devon?
Well, for my part, I would say that sometimes your circumstances determine what gadgets you wind up using. So sometimes preference might not be on your side because of maybe the size of the home you're running and things like that. So just do what works for you, but in the midst of it all, think about time and how to manage your resources.
Okay, Mercy here says, I love your conversation this morning, and I just want to tell you I love it all. And I'll just take one more before we round up. Let me see which one goes. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen in the studio. It's only one gentleman. I'm enjoying your program. Please emphasize more on adding things to food we buy from markets. Imagine adding coloring to red oil, chemicals to force fruits to ripe. NAFDAC and SON should enter markets and big shops, please. Thank you very much.
That's another huge issue.
That's a huge one.
It's a huge issue. It's like, I'm sorry, but it's really like NAFDAC is dead. I don't know what's going on.
Oh my God.
I don't know, seriously. Like, I don't, people are being poisoned.
They focus on just the big players.
No, they are focusing on drugs.
Why are they focusing on their drugs? It's supposed to be food and drugs.
Yeah. But I think they don't. They
know. They are in Nigeria with us. It's
they
because
just
where
they
drugs
make so much
is.
money. They are contractors, some of them.
Let's not
okay, let's not find out all of that. We'll get to have a way of perhaps reaching them, bringing them on a show to tell us what they are doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's about 200 million people. I think.
Yeah, but this is not only telling us what they're doing. They should show us how they go to the streets, the local market, the flea markets, to be able to educate the people out there so that they don't do the wrong things.
And if they are not doing it, why are they not doing it? Because I am more of the mind that they are not doing it.
Because
I've never seen NAFDAC in any market.
Woman on the street.
Only a few buy things from the supermarkets. Majority goes to the flea markets. And if you get to some of these markets, you won't believe what you will see there.
Yeah, those are the markets we're referring to,
where
you buy your raw
Why are you
food.
saying the markets? I don't want to call big stores that are selling the wrong things.
So
Like
let's
what?
call them out.
No, don't call them out.
I'm not
The
going to call
supermarket.
them
But
out.
what
I'm
kind
not
of
going to call
thing?
them out. You want them to think that
Like what kind
all
of
the
thing
time
are they
always
selling
sell
that's
me
wrong?
Food stuff.
Give an
Mixed.
example.
Mixed from cereal to biscuits to
Some change
sardine
label expiry
to-
dates. I've seen that.
They even change it.
They changed the expiration
changed
date.
it.
I saw
Yeah,
it.
they do.
I saw it on Listerine.
I called out to supermarkets and I told them if they don't take it out from the shelf, I'm going to take it up with them.
Yeah.
And the immediately manager apologized, said this was wrong.
Yes.
You know, they actually changed. I just took my time, I saw it, and I like, this was wrong. You have to take it out.
And it's happening
And I
All right.
so
taking it out.
frequently now.
Our time is up from here, and we, on that very lovely note, we ask you to join us again next week. But whatever you do, we know that the times may not be as good as it was yesterday, but I can assure you tomorrow, as much as we hope it will be better, our needs will always increase and the limited resources will never really get around. But then planning is the key, and knowing what to plan for and with is very important. While you're in your kitchen, be it man or woman, ensure that you use the right device that will save you time, money, and provide good health. Until next week, my name again is Liz and Devon and Joy. And
Kevin.